Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. My 1,389 subscribers. Got a few more the other day. Welcome. Glad you could join us. Happy you are here. What do I have for you today? Today I'm going to talk about the news media. Do you want to have a good, happy, fulfilled life with less fear? Shut the news off. And we will get to that right after you like and subscribe. Do it now or you will forget it. Let's go. You have to be strong enough to endure these things. You have to approach women. With today's social media, she's constantly being hit on. Women are always in the game. You have to stay focused. We are men. That's what we do. News media. Well, when I was young, and that's been a long time ago, although I feel pretty young right now, almost 62. In a few more days, I'll be 62. They reported the news. It was no drama, none of this acting and emotionalism and what we see today in the news. It's just incredible. And besides that, half or more of what they tell you is not true. It's slanted in a way to get the most emotional reaction out of you that they can get. Because guess what? That keeps you coming back for more. Do you ever think that maybe they do psychological studies to figure out how to draw you in? That's all set up. It's not much about reporting the news, it's about getting ratings. And I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't know. Most of you know that they want people to watch their channel. We have 24-hour news now. It's like they scan the world to find the most scariest, terrible things they can find and tell you about them like it's happening in your backyard. Because they want you to be afraid. Because they offer you a solution, or at least a solution to be in control, to be aware of what's going on. Although there's no way you can control anything, but if you know, then you think you feel as though you have some control over it. My desire to know is directly correlated to my desire to control. And really you have no control over anything in your outside world. You do have control over your thinking. But guess what? If you're filling your mind with fear, negativity, and the like, which is what the news media is famous for or known for, guess what you're going to be doing with your thinking? You're going to have all this garbage in your mind. And if you're thinking about all that garbage in your mind, you are going to attract similar, like, negative, dramatic situations into your life. Junk in, junk out. It reminds me of this poster I saw on a wall one time many years ago. There was this young Indian talking to an old wise brave. And he asked the old man, he says, "Grandpa, inside of me, there is a wolf and an eagle. I don't know which one is going to rule. How do I allow the eagle to rule?" And the old wise man said, "Whichever one you feed the most will rule you, my son." And it's the same with you. What are you feeding your mind? Because whatever you're feeding your mind, that is going to grow stronger. If you're feeding your mind with negativity, fear, drama, everything the news puts out there, emotionalism, you're going to draw those things into your life. why don't you make a choice and feed your mind with things that build you up? Read books about people who are what you want to become. Read books about people who have lived the life that you want to live. Read books that inspire you, that enlighten you, that strengthen your mind, that show you that there is a world of beauty and wonderment out there. It's out there. But if you watch the news, you would think this whole world is just on fire. It's a terrible place. When the reality is, yes, there's a war in Ukraine now, and people die every day. But people die every day anyway. I'm not belittling the war. Wars are terrible, but we have always had wars, and we always will have wars, probably, at least for another 50,000 years if we don't destroy ourselves in the process. It's just human nature. We are a violent race. We really are. Not all of us, but the majority. So that's just the way it is. Many people say this is a fallen world. Well, I beg to differ. It's a perfect place for spiritual or metaphysical growth, if you like, or character growth, for growth of integrity. If you didn't have anybody pissing you off on the highway, cutting you off, if you didn't have challenges every day, you would not have to exercise your mind and your spirit. You wouldn't have to try to love the unlovable. You wouldn't have to try to get along with the people who are impossible to get along with. These things build up the inner man. Just as you go to the gym to get stronger, you lift heavier weights. In life, you need bigger challenges. You need more difficult situations to confront and get through and overcome to build up the inner man. And for you guys out there that want to go out with a lot of women or want to get that one beautiful woman, that one perfect lady, and there are no perfect ladies, just like there are no perfect men, you need to strengthen that inner man, because that is what women are attracted to. The inner man, the strong inner man. And I've said this many times, your looks will get your foot in the door, but that radiance of the inner man, the strength of the inner man, that masculine, powerful inner man is what attracts the type of woman that you desire. And if you don't know what that feeling is, and if you don't have that, or you wonder if you do, you probably don't have it. It's a feeling of knowing, a feeling of confidence, a feeling of surety that no matter what happens, whether you get rejected by the girl, whether you go out with her for a long time and she leaves, none of that matters. If she leaves, you know that you will continue on in your purpose, your mission, and you'll be okay. Doesn't mean you might not hurt a little bit if she leaves or if she rejects you, but it's not going to faze you so much that it will paralyze you or put you into depression. There's the door. If you want to leave, go ahead. I'll miss you, but life goes on. I'll find somebody else. Even if I don't, I'll be great by myself. That's the attitude you have to have, and that is the attitude that attracts those type of women that you really desire. You can't fake that attitude, because eventually that neediness will come out. I know it's difficult for you guys these days because you have this instant stuff, instant texting, instant messaging. You send someone a message, she doesn't get back with you right away, or she opens it and you see she opened it and she doesn't respond. Well, she's purposely ignoring you to see what you're made of. Are you a man with metal? Do you have a pair? Or is this going to shake you up and make you think, why isn't she answering my message? And then you text her, hey, what's going on? Needy. Girls use these text messages and messaging to filter out the weak men. And you're definitely showing yourself you're a weak man by double texting, by over texting, by talking too much. The telephone, do they call it a telephone anymore? The cell phone or your iPhone is just used for setting up a date, corresponding a time when you guys can get together. It's not to get to know someone. I had a woman the other day saying, well, let's get to know each other through text. I said, you can't do it. This is pointless. Let's meet or let's not meet. Well, we didn't meet, but that's okay with me. I'm not going to play that game. I mean, that's not to say I don't text girls once in a while. I got a girl from another country that I've gone out with, and we text back and forth occasionally. But too much of that, then it spoils when you do meet. And you can't get all worked up every time someone doesn't text you back right away. But I'm getting off topic here. I was talking about the news media. This is social media. And tune in tomorrow because we are going to have a show with Glenn Lawrence on the effects of social media in dating and relationships, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Glenn's got a lot to say. He's got some good stuff, and he is definitely a masculine man. You'll enjoy him, so come join us tomorrow night. My air conditioner's out, so it might be a little hot. I may not wear my jacket, but we'll be there. So, shut the damn news off. There's nothing on there you need to know. I don't watch the news, and I know what's going on. I know we have cattle dying because of the heat. No, it's not the heat. I lived back in 86. They got up to 115 degrees. Guess what? The cattle weren't dying. They're real smart. They go get under a tree. Yeah, in some shade. As long as they have water, they're not dying. So I suppose we're gearing up for another crisis, maybe? Who knows? Once again, don't listen to the news. I didn't watch the news during the pandemic. Guess what? I have 6 kids. None of us got sick from it. None of us had COVID. Isn't that amazing? How can that be? Incredible. And I know all kinds of people that they said got it. They had the test, and they said there was not much to it. It was like the flu. Some of them like a cold. But if you watch the news, you'd have thought, my God, the whole world's going to hell and everybody's dying. But if you looked at the stats, less than 0.5% people actually died from it in the world. I mean, it was a very, very low percentage. I guess we can talk about COVID now. I'm not saying it wasn't a real virus. I'm just saying that maybe it wasn't as bad as the news media made it out to be. Just a thought. Keep that in mind the next time you watch the next drama on the news. Maybe, just maybe, it's not how they say it really is. And maybe they just want to get you upset, afraid, and ready to tune in to the next episode of Drama. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. That's all I have time for today. Thanks for joining me. If you would like to get my help personally, my website, marksinspiration.com, sign up for the monthly newsletter, which I haven't started yet. Hey, you may be the first one to get one. I'm not even sure how to do that, but I'll figure it out. You can find out anything on Google, right? You don't know what an amazing time you live in. These things were fantasy, scientific fantasy when I was a kid. It's a wonderful, beautiful, amazing, technological world that you live in now. Enjoy it, take advantage of it, and live your best life. Take care.